Pearl.
Ooh, that's high.
Ty West, I think, with
The
Pearl.
year of Ty West?
The year of Ty West. I loved X, and then I saw Pearl by myself.
Anthony sees a lot of movies by himself.
I saw The Fabelmans by myself. I actually like it. It's nice.
Yeah.
Generally, I have the theater mostly to myself, which is cool.
So you don't have to get mad at anybody?
Although the Fabelmans screening was terrible. There was literally 5 different people from areas talking. I was like, what the fuck is going on? Like, they showed Sammy, like, with the film strips taped to his table, and then showing how he spliced to film together.
Yeah.
Someone like 2 rows back was like, "Oh, so film used to be shot, and then you'd have to tape and splice it." I'm like,
Everyone knows.
I'm like, he's literally showing it. You don't have to explain this to this person.
You're
Spielberg.
Don't scream so close to the mic.
Spielberg is showing it on the screen. You don't have to explain it. Oh my God, you love the sound of your voice that much? You have to explain what's happening?
Everyone knows how movies are made.
Oh my God. I gave them a dirty look and they stopped talking after that. But anyways, the Pearl screening was great. I loved it, and I think it surpassed X in a lot of ways. I think that the character development of Mia Goth's character was phenomenal. Her
Pearl.
Pearl. Yes. Sorry.
What's her name?
The fucking title character. Oh my God. She has a great 7-minute monologue without a cut, which is insane. And then the movie ends with the credits of her just smiling and looking at us fucking like 8 minutes straight. But other than that, the performance for all the scenes is great. I like it a lot better than the X. I thought the story was really like mesmerizing and so deep, and I think it might be Ty West's best movie. I found it to be very striking. The visuals were terrific. I love the filmmaking. I love just like the way Pearl reacts to the movie theater guy, and he's like, he feels like, hey, I'm uncomfortable, and he's trying to leave, and she's like, what did I do wrong? She's like freaking. I was like, oh my God, she's selling this so well. And then she just fucking stabs him with a pitchfork. And then I love the shot where her sister-in-law is leaving, and then Ty does a leading tracking. So he's leading them walking, and she's walking, and she's like trying to leave the property. And then Pearl just starts following her with a pick in her hand, and then she starts walking faster. And then Pearl catches up to her and just kills her with the pick. Oh my God, the kills were great, and I love the story. I love the dance number. He got a little magic realism in there with the dance number in front of the judges, and then when they're like, thanks, no thanks, and she's like, what do you mean? She's so confused of why she didn't get picked.
Yeah.
I found it to just be both like terrific horror but awesome character study while also being like really darkly funny. Like, and she has sex with a scarecrow. Yeah. She has sex with a scarecrow. I mean, come on.
Now, if you had not seen X first, would it have worked as well with Pearl? What do you think?
Pearl would work great on its own
without X being seen first.
You don't need to see X first at all. They both work on their own, which I think is a great testament to both films. Like,
even though Pearl is
it's an origin story. Yeah.
Pearl origins. You get character of Pearl in X.
You don't have to have watched X to watch Pearl and still enjoy it the same amount that you would. But I think you enjoy it more knowing X.
I think so too.
But I mean, I really
because we already kind of know the character a little bit.
But
we know what's driving her.
Yeah, and I love how like she's hiding her dad and like her dead mom when the guy comes over. I'm like, this is so fucked up.
Yeah.
I really loved it. It was great.
My number 2 is gonna be Smile. I really like this movie.
I knew you were putting this high.
I was surprised how much I liked this movie. They marketed it so well. You know, they had people like at the playoffs of baseball, Major League Baseball in America, wearing those neon shirts, doing the creepy smile.
Yeah, that lady just like smiling in front of the camera was crazy.
They had multiple people doing that in multiple games, and this movie passed $100 million like pretty easily for like a $17 million budget. I think the filmmaking was really creative. I can't remember who the director was, but you know they did some cool.
Whatever the name was.
They did some cool camera movements that I thought was really fascinating.
There was a lot of tilting and upside down shots. Although I mean,
wow,
Ari Aster did it first.
Such a hater over
here. Just saying.
Such a hater.
Ari Aster did it first.
Smile was directed by Parker Finn, and
Parker Finn did a great job.
Yeah, I thought the idea was really great. I really love It Follows, a horror movie that came out starring Micah Monroe. 2014, I think.
Damn.
Spoiler alerts. it's similar to that. It's kind of the same kind of cursed
Spoil it.
movie. I love
Just spoil it.
I love cursed movies. All right, and with It Follows.
Do you love Cursed?
Yeah, no.
With
He's
Jesse
great.
Eisenberg?
No, have not seen it. The
You've
werewolf.
seen the
movie?
werewolf.
Oh
Yeah,
yeah,
you've seen it.
It's all right. I love cursed movies. I think they're really fun and really interesting. It Follows. It's this cursed STD, you could say, where you have sex with somebody who is being followed by the it thing.
Spirit
that
entity,
follows.
yeah.
It passes on to you at some point once it comes down the chain of people it has to kill. And then Smile is similar, where it's not like sex, but it's more based on trauma and seeing somebody die in front of you horrifically, traumatically, to get passed on to you. So a curse is being passed on to you that you can't escape. And this movie is really well made. It's really well written. Sosie Bacon is the lead actress. You were trying to think of her
That's
earlier.
her name. Yeah. Great,
Really,
cool
really,
name.
Really terrific in this
She's
movie.
very good. Yeah.
Sold every scene. Sold the fear, the terror, the dread. She's like kind of like you're going through.
For
her.
me, she was so good that everyone else was
You
not.
noticeably-
They were not
Yeah.
holding their own against her.
I agree.
They
I
were.
agree.
It was noticeable. The other actors, every one of them was like, she was killing it, and everyone was like, just saying lines.
She was on a different level.
Yeah.
She was really terrific. The cop was pretty good. Her ex in the film. And you're just feeling her dread and the suspense and anxiety of this ticking clock running out. At some point, it's going to get her, and she's discovering the secret and understanding it. It's kind of reminds me of The Ring a lot as well, with Naomi Watts' character in that movie, trying to discover
Especially with the
secret
timetable.
and trying to,
Yeah.
I can beat it, I can solve it, I can figure out. And you think at the end of the movie, you think she has figured out, but no, she doesn't. She gets taken out. She gets killed by the cursed Smile, gets passed on. Obviously, we're going to get a sequel to this movie. I can't wait because I love this movie. It had funny moments as well, but man, I jumped a few times, but overall, I had a terrific experience watching this in theaters.
Yeah, I thought it had a lot of great moments. I mean, just because I had it low doesn't mean I didn't like it. I still really enjoyed it. But I will say, another thing I forgot to mention is the ending. They pulled this thing where you thought she escaped, and then she got out of there and killed the thing, and then she went to her boyfriend's, her ex's house. I knew that she was still stuck in that cabin. And then,
oh yeah, me too.
And then when it was revealed that she was still stuck in there, I was like, yeah, I already knew that, guys. So I felt like that wasn't a surprising twist for me.
I knew that was gonna happen too. I was waiting for it, but I was like so satisfied by it, where I was like, I knew you didn't. I knew there's no way you could kill it.
I was like, oh, I was like, that was pretty obvious that she's gonna still be in the cabin.
I guess that's the difference between you and I, Anthony. I like to have a good time.
Did I not just gush about Pearl for 10 minutes straight?
I'm kidding. These are jokes, man. These are jokes.
I'm taking it personally.
Clearly.
Anyways,
what you got next?
At number 1, hold on, I gotta take a sip of water for this.
Wow, I wonder if we have the same one. Oh, no, we don't. We don't.
You already said this one. At number 1 for horror of 2022, I have David Cronenberg's Crimes of the Future.
Whoa.
More
your throat seems like
sorry,
there's like a snail in your throat.
it was an air bubble. This movie, it's Cronenberg. The last 12 years has been a little bit off and on, and because he wasn't doing horror a couple of times. I mean, he did like non-horror like 5 films in a row.
Yeah, Cosmopolis.
Yeah, and then Maps of the Future, Maps of the Stars, and then a couple others. He's an amazing director, but he's had some misfires for sure. But what I've always admired about David Cronenberg is he makes movies for him. He never compromises. He never makes studio movies. He never sells out, and he makes the movies he wants to make. And I have a lot of respect for him because he makes some weird fucking movies.
Videodrome's pretty fucking weird.
Yes. Existence is like, what the fuck? And then with Crimes of the Future, I had high hopes for it, especially because the cast is amazing, and they are just fantastic. Viggo Mortensen, Kristen Stewart. Kristen Stewart is fantastic in this movie. I think that if I was going to pick Best Supporting Actress, I might pick her as Oscar winner. She is amazing in her role, and she really chameleonized her. Like, she's just unrecognizable, even though it's Kristen Stewart. Like, her performance, her mannerisms, her manner of speaking, just terrific. Léa Seydoux, I think, is just one of the best European actors working today. You've seen her in the last couple of Bond movies. but Vigo really sold it. I just thought it was a really